We're back here in my garage this time, not at the VCD garage, because we're just gonna do some quick, simple JDM little upgrades for the good FL5. I want you guys to come along with me. If you guys have never seen how to change these items, then you guys are in for a treat. Otherwise, it's pretty streamlined. I've already kind of started the breakdown just to kind of give you guys a heads up of what to look out for and what to do. It's really not that hard. You're gonna be good with some plastic pry tools, or like I said again, with your hands. I'm gonna just give you guys a small little heads up on everything. Now, it's not that big of a deal. This looks worse than it is. See, this piece right here comes off. You gotta grab it with your fingertips here, or if you have a plastic pry tool, you can kind of get in under this lip. See how there's a lip right here and there's a lip here. Now you'll have to pry it up and it'll pop open. The tricky part, where I must say did get a little tricky here, guys, was in here. See how there's this little harness that's stuck to the shift boot. Now when you are trying to remove it from here, you can't tell. See, there's two clips, one for the parking brake and the hold, and the other one for the drive modes. Okay, once you release that, it almost feels like there is a harness that's stuck to here. And when I was looking underneath, I could see that this harness was there, and it looked like this piece, as you can tell right here, let me zoom in, this piece would pop out. Well, it does not. Okay, I almost broke it. I started putting a lot of pressure on it, and then I decided, all right, why don't we take this piece off and then we'll deal with the harness. Well, the harness goes on this piece here. My best advice would be to remove the 4 screws. As you see, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws, right, that go here. Okay, so those 4 screws will release this piece, and there's anything stuck to it, just kind of comes right off. That'll enable you to take this off, and then you're able to now take off the shift boot and the collar. This is annoying. This piece, I'm still battling with it. I need to pop it off. A lot of people tell me that it ends up getting broken in the process. The replacement one, and here is the JDM suede boot. Now we're gonna switch it because I don't like this pleather look. I have never liked it. All right, just a little heads up, to release this out of its area, you're just gonna push down on these little edges. See there and there? You're just gonna pinch that and it'll pop right off. All right, guys, we got this all taken care of. It wasn't that hard. I ended up just twisting the knob, to be honest with you. I twisted it until this piece, until it just unscrewed. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then now we have this piece left. Started to turn it, but I'm afraid that this washer is gonna get stuck in here. So I'm gonna use a plastic pry tool to kind of see if I can pry it out. That should be it, or actually not a plastic pry tool, a pick tool to get it out. Because if you see in the JDM one, there's a little clip right here where my finger's pointing at. You see that right there? That's a little retention clip that I'm sure is right here. I'm gonna pop that out and we should be done. All right, guys, we have ran into a installation issue. The US one, as you can tell, has this clip here. The JDM one does not. And not to mention, in order for this to fit in the right orientation, this clip, as you see right here, see that clip right there, goes in on this right there where my thumb is at. See that hole? On the JDM version, because I'm assuming this whole setup is switched, see, what would go like this is not lining up. And as you can even tell here, the holes for the screws do not line up perfectly. You see how it just does not seem to settle its way in. The screw holes do not line up, so I can't even get that, even if I wanted to, installed. The boot looks good. The boot sits fine. See that? The boot sits fine, but I think we'll have issues with it if I leave it the way it is, or even when trying to put this whole center console back, I think we might have some issues with fitment. Now, what I might do is I might take off these pieces and put it on this guy here and see if that works out. I'm sorry, this lickety-split installation looks like it's gonna take a little bit longer than I anticipated, and I am not happy to be one Anyway, I'll give you guys a spot check in a second.
Hey guys, I forgot to mention to you guys that I ended up removing the shift boot off of the JDM bracket and installed it onto the USDM shift boot bracket. There was going to be no way that it would work, and not to mention I had to do a little bit of creative engineering just because the boot does not totally match up with the US one.
Alright guys, this is pretty much the installation of it. As you saw, you put the clips back in, everything's good to go. I have not put this back yet because I do want to kind of mess around with this little nut here and how high I'm going to want the spoon shift knob. See, this is just about the same size, honestly, and see how we like these throws here, which feel pretty good. Yeah, I don't remember the exact millimeter one, but this is a 9/16 wrench that I'm using here. And with the spoon shift knob, it also brings a little Allen wrench hole, if I can find it here, and this is just so you can pretty much get it to stick nice. You don't want to over tighten it because since this is Duracon, and I'm not sure on the aluminum one to be 100 with you guys, but I know that on this one, if you overdo it, it will strip it and it just becomes pointless for you to have that. There you have it. I mean, it looks pretty good, looks nice. I like to tuck mine in, I don't like it popped out, but you see what I was saying, how it doesn't, the spoon knob does not cover it. I know the Acuity shift boot collar, ring, nut, whatever you want to call this, come a little bit more narrow, and it also has two different features for either a narrow neck or a wide neck. That may solve our issue. We'll do that on another install, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna try and rock it like this. I'm gonna see how I like it. If I don't like the way it feels, I'm going to put back the stock one and we'll see what else comes out. But so far this looks good. The spoon shift knob feels good. The next thing we're gonna move on to is gonna be the Spoon Sports blue wide mirror, which honestly, since I got the car, I've been wanting to do, just because I hate the regular mirror. I got used to it in my FK8, having the extra field of view. I couldn't wait to order it, and I got a tip that the FK8 blue wide mirror fits exactly the same on the FL5. I thought there was going to be a difference with it. There is none. I'm telling you, it fits 100% seamless. It fits perfectly. See that right there? There are there's nothing off on it. Everything fits 100%. Just like in the FK8, there is a little bit of an overlay. As you can see, there is some separation, but that is because of the tape that goes behind it, and that's because of the concave in the mirror, and that's what gives you the field of view. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put that in real quick. As you can see, we got a little surprise back there. Those are rigid collars for the FL5. Now those we ordered straight from Japan because Spoon Sports USA does not have them yet. Those will be in another video, and that's a good little nugget for you guys to tune back in and join us for that install. All right guys, I prepped the surface, and now I'm just going to remove the adhesive little covers here and stick the sucker on. Make sure that the Spoon Sports logo sits on the right hand side. Anywho, all right, we're just gonna go ahead and install this. It's a one-shot deal is what it looks like. My recommendation, start with one corner and then go to the next and then come all the way across like I just did. So you're gonna wanna start almost as if you're gonna lay it on, you know, this corner first and then kind of bring it down, because if you just go straight and you're off, at least you can still peel one corner off. Just kind of put some pressure on it. The stickies are here in the middle, and then over here on what would be my right. All right guys, that's it. Look at that, looks pretty good. You're able to see more, especially us that we're on track. We're able to see, you know, now your blind spot on your left side, and you're able to see the blind spot on the right side, depending where you have your seat position, but you are able to see that. It was exponentially useful out on track. I don't just get it because it's a Spoon product. I actually get it because it actually works. Seeker is probably just as good because I think Seeker is made by the same company Spoon does. I think the Mugen one is the same. It's just you pick your poison. But I think for the look, unless you want to get a Broadway mirror, I think this is the cleanest look to it. 100%, it's a go for me. Okay, next up is going to be the trunk light. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I think what we're gonna need here are gonna either be some plastic pry tools, or we're gonna need a pick tool to try and get this to release. If I see it correctly, I think there's kind of like a clip, a retaining little plastic area here and here that we might need to press and get it out. I think I'm just gonna stick my pry tool. I have a little hook type of pry tool. Just gonna try and get it underneath. And yeah, it already looks like it's gonna come out. Perfect. I just pushed right here and popped it right out. This part goes in this back area here, and it was pretty simple to get it to pop out. All right, yeah, like I was saying, the last fit kit for the rear trunk light is going to be the L-T10. Sorry, L-T10 is the one that's gonna fit the rear trunk light on the FL5. Now, if you guys know, with these lights, sometimes they won't work right off the get because of the negative and positive. So I'm just gonna install it, plug it in. If it lights up, we're good to go like we do. And if not, you'd have to just pull it out and turn it around, and then it'll light up. But again, I'm gonna give you guys a good little comparison real quick, just so you see the difference. And this is just in plain daylight. Okay, that's the OEM, and this is gonna be the last fit LED bulb. Nicer and brighter. And me, I'm a guy that likes bright light. That looks super, super nice. It's even too bright for the phone, as you can see, but this is gonna light up the trunk 10 times more than the stock one when it gets dark and we use it at night. All right, guys, this is gonna conclude the installation. I was going to give the rear tail lights a shot, but I honestly am gonna be 100% with you guys. I don't know how to remove these rear tail lights. We're gonna do a little bit more investigation, and then we'll probably shoot another video for last fit just for the rear tail lights. Otherwise, we're all set here. We've done the LED rear trunk light. That looks awesome. We've also gone ahead, and I know the car's a mess, but we'll clean it up. We've done the JDM shift boot install, and we've changed the shift knob to the Spoon Sport shift knob, which came out awesome. And then we also did the blue wide mirror from Spoon. Again, all these parts you can get. If you guys got any questions, hit us up at VCDracing. We can go ahead and help you guys out with anything, answer any questions you guys may have. All right, boys, and if you've stuck around this long in the video, I'm gonna reward you guys with a little something. Over here at VCD, we've gone out on a couple limbs. Like I said earlier in the video, we ordered some parts from Black Hawk Japan. Now, they weren't 100% that they were gonna work, but we lucked out and we ordered some rigid collars for the FL1. Now, we knew that the FL1 is the same chassis as the FK8. We knew from other postings that Spoon Sport has leaked out, or people have leaked out from Spoon Sports, that the FL1 rigid collars were gonna work. And once we ordered, as you can tell, they say Type R. So we're super ecstatic for that. We got the front set and the rear set. We're gonna be installing those. So even more why I ask you guys, hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notifications button so you know when we're gonna do these, because I'm gonna be quite certain that we're probably gonna be one of the first ones out there to do this. And if you are interested in doing it in your FL5, this is gonna be the video for it. We also am going to reward you guys with yet one more item, and that's gonna be, we're gonna put in some new coilovers at the same time that we do those rigid collars. We went ahead and ordered from S3 Suspension, we ordered some street/track coilovers that they are offering that are proprietary to the FL5. Now these aren't FK8 ones, these are actually FL5 coilovers, and I'm super happy to do this. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, what's the difference in the coil? Well, from what they told us is, number one is the valving. They revalved it to support the higher weight in the car. And also remember when we told you the rear strut mount is a little different. Now, this clearance here versus the FK8 is a lot wider. They've just gone ahead and redone this portion here, which will support the FL5. We've gone ahead and gone with their recommendations of a 12K rear spring brought to you by Swift, and a 10K front spring, again, from Swift. We're gonna see how these bad boys work. They all, actually, let me correct myself. What I do like about this set is that if we need something stiffer or lighter or softer, excuse the word, they offer those solutions for the car as well. So I could at one point go 12 all the way around, or I can go 10, or I can go even stiffer or lighter. We're gonna play around with that, and that's the fun of working on these cars, which is you can always customize everything. Something that some of the major brands don't let you do, like KW and stuff like that. They are just proprietary with their setups. All right, and then I'm just gonna ask you guys to please keep subscribing, keep on watching. We do appreciate all the questions, 100%. And again, guys, please hit the notification button, because you guys have no idea what we have in store for the FL5. You guys won't regret it. I promise you that. So keep tuning, keep watching, and we'll catch you guys out on the next one.